Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati Naistiki. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 4, Verse 70. Apo vidya cha vipranam nishreyasakare ubhe te yeva durvinitasya kalpete karturanyatha. For a Brahmana, austerity and learning are certainly auspicious. But when acquired by a person who is not gentle, such austerity and learning are most dangerous. Purport. It is said that a jewel is very valuable, but when it is on the hood of a serpent, it is dangerous despite its value. How can a jewel be dangerous? Because the serpent is dangerous. Similarly, when a materialistic non-devotee achieves great success in learning and austerity, that success is dangerous for all of society. Why? Because so-called learned scientists, for example, invented atomic weapons that are dangerous for all humanity. It is therefore said, Manina bhushita sarpaha kim asau na bhayankaraha. A serpent with a jewel on its hood is as dangerous as a serpent without such a jewel. Durvasa Muni was a very learned Brahmana, equipped with mystic power. But because he was not a gentleman, he did not know how to use his power. So this is very, very important actually, especially for those who are in position of power. So there's a saying in English, power corrupts, which is power corrupts, and absolute power absolutely corrupts. Anybody who has little power will be corrupted by that power. So which means that they want to misuse that power. And absolute power absolutely corrupts, means when somebody has absolute meaning unquestionable power, then it absolutely corrupts, meaning there is no chance that person will escape. While this is absolutely relevant for this material world, but it's also very, very, very relevant for devotee community. Mm. So if somebody who is in position of leadership thinks that they can do whatever they want because they are in that position, that means that power is corrupting that person. Sometimes when we are sitting in a theory class, hearing Bhagavatam, and we hear some very instructions, it seems like, yeah, okay, it makes sense. For example, when we are sitting in class, we hear about bodily conception of life. Now, when we are hearing this, we feel that yes, 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 correct. So this is bodily conception. I should not be attached to this body and things connected to this body, etc. But then in reality, when there are situations in life, we can't actually figure out that we are displaying bodily conception of life. It's so much in ignorance we are in. Similarly, a person who is actually corrupt cannot understand that he is corrupt. Mm. Which is why knowing knowledge is one thing, applying knowledge in life is another thing. So when it comes to life situation, sometimes we don't even know what to do, what principle to apply. Sometimes we know the principle, but we don't think that there is situation for us to apply it. We can't recognize that situation is demanding us to apply some principle. Similarly, it's not necessary that, especially amongst devotees, the devotees who get affected by power, it's not necessary that they are very willingly do it, in the sense consciously. They might not be consciously doing it. But they're also, I mean, yeah, they're not conscious that they are actually doing it. And some good souls, maybe, somebody else tells that, okay, see, what is being done is not right, and they might learn. Others might not. So this is very, very important. Mm. And this happens in small, small groups also. For example, somebody is leading some service. Suddenly we feel that this Ishvara Bhava is so ingrained in us that we suddenly feel that, oh, okay, okay, now all these people are under me, under me. And then we might deal with them. So today morning, Namamrita, we were reading, beautiful, I can't forget that sentence. Prabhupada said, one who is humble and meek will achieve love of Krishna. Practically, literally looks impossible, at least for like a person like me. So then what happens? Then Krishna has to hammer us because we want Krishna on one end, but then looks like these qualities are like alien from a different planet for a different person at a different time, but we still want Krishna. And Krishna does required hammering. So because all of us have different anarthas. Somebody who's running behind power has his own anartha. Somebody else has some other anartha. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. Anyway, so at least here the discussion is about power. So we have to be very, very careful when we are in position which is relatively unquestionable. I'm speaking about for myself. So Durvasa Muni was extremely dangerous. The Supreme Person of Godhead is never inclined toward a dangerous person who uses his mystic powers for some personal design. By the laws of nature, therefore, such misuse of power is ultimately dangerous not for society but for the person who misuses it. And that is seen in the life of Durvasa in this incident. Hmm. 71. Brahmam stadgacha badram te nabhaga tanayam nripam Kshama bhagam tatashantir bhavishyati. O best of the Brahmanas, you should therefore go immediately to King Ambarīṣa, the son of Maharaja Nabhaga. I wish you all good fortune. If you can satisfy Maharaj Ambarīṣa, then there will be peace for you. Sri Vishnu, uh, Ishvara Parama, supreme controller, beyond Tena vina trinamapi na chalati. Nothing can happen without his will. But he is under Aham Bhakta Paradin. Vishnu said, Aham Bhakta Paradin. I am under the control of my devotee. So he's telling Durvasa, you go immediately. You go to King Ambarish. I can't do anything for you. I'm the Supreme Lord, but I can't do anything for you. And actually, you see, Vishnu is so considerate. As in, see, these statements, when the Lord is speaking, we have to try and understand it very, very. I mean, for example, here Vishnu could have said, go immediately and fall at King Ambarisha's lotus feet. And this is what he wanted. This is what he wanted Durvasa to do. But he's not saying that. He didn't want to humiliate Durvasa. Right? So Krishna's qualities are amazing. Mm. Krishna never, in any situation, he does not want to hurt anybody. Mm. And as a result, he gets stuck. He gets stuck. And then eventually it results in displeasing who? Radha. So Krishna is okay. He's not okay, but okay. He's not okay to displease Radha, but he's okay to be displeased. It's weird. All because he doesn't want to hurt anybody. Any devotee. Of course, it's not material. It's not like he doesn't want to hurt Kamsa. It's not like that. He doesn't want to hurt any devotee. Of course, even non-devotees, unless it is extreme, he doesn't even speak. He doesn't say words that hurt. And as humans, our biggest problem is our nonsense tongue. Right? But Krishna is completely controlled, completely. Doesn't speak anything which will even remotely insult a person, even if even if it is required. So in this case, he would have been so upset with Ambarisha, with Durvasa Muni, that he is troubling his dear devotee. But still, he is giving sober advice. He's saying, you please go to Ambarisha. And he's saying, I wish you all good fortune. It's like Bhrigu Muni came and kicked the Lord. And he suddenly got up from his seat. When somebody does that, we also get up from our seat to fight with that person, scold that person. Right? But Vishnu got up from that place to go and hold Bhrigu's lotus feet, feeling that he would have been hurt. It's just, these qualities can only in Krishna and his pure devotees we can see these qualities. No wonder Krishna says, they are in me, they are in my heart, I am in their heart. Otherwise, we can't imagine. We can't imagine dealing with this world like this, in this way. It's so amazing, just I wish you all good fortune. Not that I'm wishing you bad, though you've done a nasty word, nasty thing. But then Vishnu knows that this is for Ambarīṣa Mahārāja's glorification. So he's saying, I wish you all good fortune. If you can satisfy Maharaj Ambarīṣa, then there will be peace for you. In this regard, Madhvamuni quotes from Garuda Purana. A long verse, okay. The lesson to be derived from this narration concerning Maharaj Ambarisha and Durvasa Muni is that all the demigods, including Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, are under the control of Lord Vishnu. Therefore, when a Vaishnava is offended, the offender is punished by Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. No one can protect such a person, even Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva. Again, we've talked about this multiple times, but it's worth discussing. Because unfortunately, devotees remain unconscious when dealing with other devotees. Might wonder, how can devotees be unconscious? Because they're not conscious of the fact that they are dealing with Vaishnavas. And it very badly upsets Krishna. How do we upset Krishna? By speaking unnecessarily about other devotees. In the name of service. This is one new nonsense. Right? Meaning, simply we take service as a reason to criticize somebody. Not all situations, first of all, not every action needs to be criticized, number one. Second is that instead of criticizing, we can actually see what we can do in the situation. In the sense, not going and advising a devotee or anything, just, okay, there's some situation, okay, some devotee for some reason is not doing a particular service properly. Then first thing is we can see, okay, can I help in some way? Can I do it or make up for the gap? Is one thing that we can think. Second thing is, we should always remember saying that I am myself a fallen soul. What qualification do I have to comment on somebody else? If I am perfect, maybe I can, but a perfect person will never comment on somebody else because he thinks that he's always imperfect. And this has become in like devotee community now, it's become like just, it's just part of the fiber, the part of the society. Generally, I mean, I see so many places, and one of my goals is in my preaching is I want to stop this nonsense. I want people to serve Krishna with love. When we serve Krishna with love, we don't have space in our heart to comment about somebody else. Okay, is there some gap? Oh, Krishna is not happy with the service. Okay, let me figure out what to do. Unless we develop this mood, we will never make progress. Forget about making progress. We won't even go away from devotion. I don't know how, in what other way I can explain this. For our own welfare, we should stop talking behind other devotees. If you really have the heart, talk to the devotee. Okay, maybe there will be misunderstanding, maybe they'll become upset. Deal with it. If you really want to do it, if you really want to help that person, if you really want to improve that service, but that's also not advisable. Because we don't have the maturity to deal with other devotees. I mean, I keep seeing that we are all so much in ourselves. Many times there are some new people who would have come, we are in our own world. So we really don't know how to deal with other people. Forget about dealing with devotees. So the best thing is to not involve in criticizing. Now, unfortunately, for some people, this might look like fish out of water. Because their existence is based on criticizing, commenting. And Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita, saying that stop this fault finding. It's ignorance. It's because of ignorance. 16th chapter, he talks about all these bad qualities. In those bad qualities, one of the qualities is fault finding. So we should not think that we are so elevated that I can find faults in others. See what happens with this. Okay, you might be thinking then, is everything a Vaishnava Prada? No, everything is not a Vaishnava Prada. For example, if there is actually a real problem and you are speaking with the intention of actually helping that person, for example, say somebody is not chanting properly, somebody is sleeping while chanting. Okay, now in real interest, you feel, no, 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 if this person is going to sleep every day during chanting, then he or she is not going to make progress. So I want to help this person. No, this is genuine. This is very, very genuine. Then don't talk about that devotee behind his or her back, but go and tell that person, saying that, see, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not here to make you feel bad or anything, but this is just being a well wisher. I'm just trying to tell you, saying that maybe you're not aware that you're maybe little bit your attention is not in your chanting. Sometimes your attention goes off, or maybe you are too tired, you didn't get enough sleep yesterday, whatever, right? I mean, you can be as sensitive as possible to let the person know that there is something genuinely not good for that person, and if they continue to do that, it's going to harm them. But then even such a conversation should start with an apology, end with an apology, pray, ask that, hope I didn't really say something that hurt you, and this is genuine. This is not a Vaishnava aparadh. If we can deal with people on this platform and then they will reject us, they will dismiss us off, they might say bad things about us. If you are ready to just accept it and walk away from the situation, do this. If you have that quality, do this. If you don't have that quality, just keep quiet. Now, this Durvasa Muni incident is it's a classic, and I don't know, somehow it just doesn't seem to register at all. When we are saying, and it's the same thing, that's what I'm saying, when people are in class, those who do this regularly as a habit, they say, yes, 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 this is correct, I should not do this, is Vaishnava Aparadh. But when they are in situation, meaning other devotees, other people around, and they're in a situation where their nature, this is their nature, contaminated nature, is to criticize, automatically they will criticize. Automatically. It's like, that tail of a dog. How much ever you stretch, you leave it, it's going to bring. Prabhupada says that, you, you make a dog a king. You make him sit on the throne. And then as soon as there is chappal, what will he do? He'll jump on it. This is called nature. But very dangerous nature. Some devotees who have too much of anger, too much. Too much anger, meaning every situation, irrespective of who that person is, they're angry. They have no good intention or anything. They're just, anger means ignorance. Anger is stemming from ignorance, right? So they have to control themselves in a devotee community, otherwise they will get destroyed. They'll get destroyed. So Durvasa Muni, Ambarīṣa Mahārāja, I'm saying on one end, from Ambarīṣa Mahārāja, we can learn so many amazing qualities we have to develop. And from Durvasa Muni, qualities that we have to give up. So it's an amazing, of course, there's so many like this in Bhagavatam, but sometimes, like I was saying, Prahlada and Hiranyakashipu, maybe we can't relate to it, right? Who's going to, whose father is going to do this? So, yeah, so we will say, okay, maybe not much relevant to me, but Ambarisha and Durvasa is like perfectly relevant for all devotees. Anyway, so this ends the 4th chapter of the series. Ambarīṣa Mahārāja offended by Durvasa Muni. So now the great response, how Ambarīṣa Mahārāja deals with situation. I mean, this is an answer for all those devotees who ask this question, what if somebody offends me? What if somebody criticizes me? No, not offend, not criticize, kill. Want to kill. Even to that extreme situation, this chapter will explain to us what we need to do. Already it has explained, but now when we see Ambarīṣa Mahārāja making those prayers on behalf of Durvasa Muni, You just like fall off our chair. I mean, it can only be in a movie. It's just like that. So amazing. Okay. 9.5.1. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Evam bhagavataadishto durvasas chakratapitaha ambarisham upavritya tatpadau dukkhito grahit. Evam bhagavata adishto. Some verses in Bhagavatam we can understand from Sanskrit only. Like Bhagavad Gita, simple Sanskrit. Evam bhagavata adishto. Having been ordered so by Bhagavan, Durvasas chakratapita. Durvasa was, tapita means tormented, disturbed, troubled by the chakra. Ambarisham upavritya. So he went to Ambarisha. He approached Ambarisha. Tat pado dukkhito grahit. His feet he caught with distress. He was aggrieved. Hmm. Hmm. Tasya sodyamam aviksha padasparsha vilajjitah astavit tad dharer astram kripaya pidito brisham. Padasparsha vilajjitah. Vilajjita, became ashamed. Who became ashamed? Ambarisha. When Durvasa Muni comes and touches his feet, he becomes ashamed. He's like, what is this? Why is he doing this to me? When Durvasa touched his lotus feet, Maharaja Ambarisha was very much ashamed. And when he saw Durvasa attempting to offer prayers because of mercy, he was aggrieved even more. Thus, he immediately began offering prayers to the great weapon of the Supreme Person of Godhead. Prabhupada has not written a purport, but this is amazing. He'll be explaining it possibly in the next few verses. Why was Ambarisha Maharaja ashamed? Why should one be ashamed? Ashamed means what? When are we ashamed? We are ashamed when we do something wrong, not acceptable. We are ashamed. Why is Ambarisha Maharaja ashamed? This really, which is why Bhagavatam sometimes is just out of the world. Devotees are out of the world. So he was ashamed because he couldn't prevent this from happening. He was ashamed, saying that how could I be the cause for Durvasa Muni to come and fall at my feet? Why couldn't I have prevented it? So he's ashamed, saying that, I became responsible somehow for this. And when he saw Durvasa attempting to offer prayers because of mercy, he agreed even more. Already he was upset with himself, saying, I've acted not properly. Now, on top of that, when Durvasa Muni is starting to offer prayers, he becomes even more aggrieved. He says, like, what nonsense is this? What do I think? And immediately he didn't have to do any reasoning. Immediately he said, no, okay, fine. I'll make up for the nonsense I've done. So he starts glorifying Sudarshana. Can we even imagine this kind of behavior? Just put ourselves in any difficult situation. This is called, in corporate language, we call this out of box thinking. Meaning you can't just think like this. Nobody just thinks like this. Saying, somebody else is troubling me. Now I'm thinking I'm ashamed that I was the cause for him troubling me. This is like really out of the world. We can't just understand this at all. Ambarīṣa Uvacha. Tvam Agnir Bhagavan Suryas Tvam Somo Jyotisham Patihi Tvam Apas Tvam Kshitirvyoma Vayur Matrendriyani Cha. Now he glorifies Sudarshana is not different from Krishna. So he's glorifying Sudarshana as Supreme Lord. So he says, Bhagavan, Tvam Agni Bhagavan. Maharaj Ambarisha said, oh Sudarshana Chakra, you are fire, you are the most powerful sun, you are the moon, the master of all luminaries, you are water, earth, sky, air, you are the five sense objects and you are the senses also. How can we understand this? The only way we can understand it is thinking Sudarshana is not different from Supreme Lord because he is his weapon. So he is saying that he is everything. Sudarshana is everything. Sudarshana namastubhyam sahasrarachuta priya sahasra ara. Ara means spokes. Okay. Sahasra arachuta priya sarvastra ghatin vipraya swasti bhuya idaspate. Oh, most favorite of Achyuta. Sudarshana is the most favorite of Achyuta. You have thousands of spokes. O master of the material world, destroyer of all weapons, original vision of the Supreme Lord. This is very nice, no? This is the actual meaning of Sudarshana. Sudarshana means the vision of the Supreme Lord, and it's very auspicious. That's why he's called Sudarshana. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Kindly give shelter and be auspicious to this Brahmana. Very simple, right to the point. Two verses of glorification, end of the glorification saying, please give shelter to him. He's already troubled sufficiently. Hmm. Ah. So this is what we get when we come for Mangalarti. What we get? Sudarshana. Hmm. The Lord sees us with auspiciousness. Which is why I keep saying that devotees to attend Mangalarti. Yeah, it's difficult. Prabhu, first of all, 4:30 Mangalarti. Second, we sleep very late because of office calls and this and that. And if there are no office calls, mobile. We got so used to sleeping at 12 o'clock that we can't sleep if we don't have work. This kind of conditioning we are in. So obviously, whether it is Saturday, we don't come. Sunday, we don't come. Because why? Monday to Friday, we are like in this rut. But I can tell one thing from my experience is, if you want your life to change, your devotional life to change, you have to come to Mangalarti. Actually, I had a different opinion about this. From my own life, sadhana, I mean, yeah, my focus had always been on chanting, so I never did Mangalarti all these years. I mean, yeah, very simple, like 10 minutes finish kind of stuff, not like a proper Aarti type. And I don't think even the Aarti matters. I think it's the mood of the prayers. It's the environment in which we do those prayers. So it's the devotional mood, and that devotional mood, unfortunately, we can't possibly create it at our house. Difficult. Uh, but then when we are with other devotees, it becomes very, very easy to come into the devotional mood. And when we come into the devotional mood, like, uh, you know, uh, it takes us to Sattva Guna. It takes us to Sattva Guna. And when it takes us to Sattva Guna, then chanting Hare Krishna becomes a breeze. Sattva Guna, once I'm going to send on video of somebody who's chanting like that, okay? That person won't know. And I'm going to put it on the group. You'll understand what it is. I've been seeing it every day. I don't think I can get there, but at least now. But I can understand that I need to get there. I know that that is where real chanting will happen. And that Sattva Guna is unshakable, meaning actually not, what is the word? In that Sattva Guna, we don't even feel like moving our finger. Forget about getting up and walking or talking or seeing this and that and all that. We just feel like letting our senses shut down. That is the power of that Mangalarti. So then we don't feel like, we go into our cocoon for the next 2 hours till chanting is done. So Mangalarti can have that effect. But yeah, Mangalarti has to be done in a particular mood. And then it can have that effect. And that is expected. Anyway, so the point I was saying is that is the first darshana. And when the Supreme Lord sees us coming and, enthusiastically standing in front of him, offering him obeisances. We are in a prayerful mood, and all that, then we get the mercy of the Lord. It's not very difficult. Krishna is not here to hold back mercy. Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to freely distribute that mercy, and he's ready to give that mercy. He's not holding it back at all. And so, again, this is my job. I waited for a few days. Attendance is not increasing. So then Krishna speaks, saying, you want the original vision, you want the Sudarshana of the Lord, then come for Mangalarti. Of course, some Matajis can't come for whatever reason, either whatever, right? And they're sometimes cooking bhoga, etc. Okay, understandable. But then when you can't be like, okay, chill, 5 days I got break or whatever. You should be hankering, saying that what is this nonsense? Oh, what can I do? I can't go there, I can't sit here. And then, should feel that pain. Mm. Mm. Anyway, coming back to the point is that Mangalarti is very powerful. Please don't neglect it. Please don't neglect it. And I understand there are real challenges. I understand, appreciate. I'm not being unreasonable here, but I'm saying just somehow figure out. I'm telling devotees saying that at least push yourself for a Saturday and a Sunday. Because Saturday you will get afternoon. You want to sleep, you won't sleep. Right? You will have some time. I mean, it's not the whole day you will be running around doing chores, right? So you'll have some time. So Friday, even if you sleep at 12 o'clock, get up and come. Get up and come for Mangalarti. Right? It'll make a big difference. You are pushing yourself. It's austerity for us. Right? And definitely Sunday. Somehow make sure that in your program, Saturday lights off at 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock maximum, right? Sleep, get up, be here for Sunday. Saturday, Sunday, irrespective of what you are doing, you should come for Mangalarti. Right? Otherwise, I'm saying material world is already difficult. Material life is already difficult. How are we going to make progress as Grihasthas? Grihastha life is already difficult. Uh, so this is what Supreme Lord has given, our Acharyas have given us. So we should get the Sudarshana of the Lord every day, every morning. Anyway, so I'll stop here. Any questions, comments? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveda Gaura Bhakta ki jai. Hare Krishna. Anything, anybody? No. Don't ask any questions. It's okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveda Gaura Bhakta ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhyo cha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namo Ananda Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, bro. Pranam.